Let me know when you guys see the FieldConnect logo on your screen.
I think I'm seeing it.
Okay.
I've got them.
All right, beautiful. All right, thank you so much, Steve, for that introduction, and I really need to compliment you and your team for all the work you've done for so many of our combined customers, and it's really a tremendous level of support. And if anyone here hasn't worked with Steve Handley, he's really an amazing guy and very responsive. So my hat's off to you before I get started. So with FieldConnect, you guys, I'm just going to touch upon mobility here. I'm going to just spend literally a minute telling you who we are, and I'm going to show you some mobile technology and how it relates to automating field service. So just real quick then about FieldConnect. We've been Sage Development Partner in construction real estate for business units here for going on over 6 years, located in Irvine, California. We've been around under current ownership since 2002. So a very tried and true company and very solid. And we're on version 4 of our software, so it's really mature, and there's a lot of features to it, which you'll see. All the features and everything have come as a result of 10 years of experience answering calls. And just to give you an idea of our experience, we started working in field service since '98. We have these major brands and customers that rely on us. And we FieldConnect estimates it'll process, 500,000 work orders on all of its software this year, 2 million payroll hours. If you skip down to another bullet point, FieldConnect estimates its customers will process well over 10 million database transactions. That's just across all of our customers in our software. And this is the big teller right down here. We've had thousands of support conversations and talked to hundreds of users this year alone. And that's the experience getting you up and running and understanding your business and in field services where we pride ourselves. So that's a little bit about us. Let's see here. I'm going to jump down to something you may find pretty interesting. There. Look at this. We just got back from the Field Mobility Technology Magazine's Field Mobility Conference, and in that, if you look at the current issue of Field Mobility 2013, there's some incredible statistics here I thought everyone on the line should hear. That when companies implement mobility, they get an 18% increase in service visits per technician. This is a survey that went out to 600 mechanical contractors and field service companies like yourselves. Not necessarily mechanical contractors, but field service and field technology. 25% reduction in service calls per ticket, 40% increase in service revenue contribution per technician, and a 30% reduction in logistics costs. Excuse me there. I just threw this slide together. So just to give you an idea there, that's from Field Mobility Magazine. It's not me. In Field Mobility 2013, Field Technologies Magazine. Very powerful. So let me jump out of that for a second, and we'll jump over to, we're going to get going on our software. Okay, and I'll show you, first of all, jump into an application here. So what we're going to take you through is 3 applications. The first one I'm going to show you is our field service mobility piece for field technicians. We call it Field Access. And I just want to check in real quick. Is everyone hearing me okay? Everyone following my computer? Are you guys seeing the FieldConnect Field Access screen? Steve or somebody confirm that you can hear me?
Doing good.
Okay, I'm doing good? Okay. I had to check since we had some audio before. Okay, so going right along. So everybody, this is Field Access. I'm also going to show you a customer service portal called Field Direct and touch upon Field Dispatch, which is a dispatching utility that's pretty expansive above and beyond some of the functionality of the D-board. Okay, so let's jump in here. And we'll log out here of Field Access. This is what you're seeing first. Okay, so I'm going to take you through a day in the life of a technician real quick. We'll spend about 10 minutes here. in field access. So if you imagine a technician waking up in the beginning of the day, he grabs some sort of mobile device. Our software works with any mobile device that connects to the internet. Okay, you just need internet connectivity. It works through a web browser. The reasons for that is there's no you don't have to do a lot of support for devices. You don't have to maintain any applications. You don't have to worry about updates. It's just very simple, which the less burden on your IT department, and you can spend more time doing what you do. So let me log in here as Bruce. Okay, his name's Bruce Wayne. We're a big fan of Batman. No, it's in the system, so I like to use it. It's kind of funny. So this is Bruce, a technician, and he logs into his mobile device. Let's say it's a tablet, okay, or it could be his phone, and he sees his first work orders for the day. These work orders were created in service management, and they've been pushed out automatically to his assignment screen. I'm going to show you the assignment screen here, but in just a little bit I'll show you some other screens. We'll show you how you can do unapplied time, create a work order out in the field, take a look at a schedule. I can show you that now. He has a schedule view of his work orders that he can pop into, and he can see, okay, these are the work orders for the day. Okay, they're both scheduled early, and when he clicks on that, he can see a 3-day view or a 7-day view. So if there's PMs, preventive maintenance, and other work orders out, he can get a good idea of his visibility. If you want him to, you can enable him to have this view or not. Maybe you just want him to see just the assignments for the day. Okay, so here we are on the assignments page, and you'll just see that he can sort by different work orders. He can even look over the past 30 days, look in the next 30 days, so you give him that view. Okay, here's the past 30 days of work orders, and he doesn't have to have that, or he can look at the next 7 days, for instance. And he could sort by work order number, and there's a lot of different ways to access. He can sort by schedule date, status, work order number, and description. So he's going to start off with his first work order of the day. He's going to click on this, and he's going to jump down to the details page. And I'm going to take you through the details page real quick. This is everything he needs to get out there, get the job done, everything he needs to know about the work order itself and what job is needed, and how he fills out this information here to complete the work order and process it. Okay, so as you see, it's an HVAC defect. Just chose that as an example today. Many of you may be in different businesses. I don't know your businesses, obviously, but in this case, here's a work order. It's for Kaiser Permanente. You can come in here, and he can see some site information real quick. This is all to help him get going. He's going to want to know, okay, where am I going for the day? He can hit the map button, and it pulls up a Google Maps. And Google Maps now has its own little, I use it in my car now, it's its own little updated app that will run on mobile devices, and it'll do a step-by-step directions, just like a high-end GPS device. At least it does on my iPhone. So you can see that right there. That's the Maps function. And you can come in here. This is the really big one. Site history. We hear it all the time. How can I get my techs to see more site history so they know what they're walking into, what job they're doing? Well, in this case, you can come in here and click on past work orders and see what work was done. And this is a completed work ticket from a past work order, okay? In fact, this is what we're going to be working on today. That's what I clicked on first. But in this history, as you see, he can come down to this service back here that happened on 4/24, and here's the work order details, the property information, description of service, evaluate and fix the chiller. Here's some work order comments. This is everything that was logged and done by the last technician. If there are work order items located, he might see different comments from the last tech, so he knows what work was done beforehand. He's a lot more prepared for the job, knows if he's walking into a hornet's nest or not. This is huge. So you can jump back from that, go back to the details page, so he has an idea of what the last work was done. He knows what he's got to do when he gets out there. Let's just quickly, just before I head out, take a look at if there's any work order notes or site notes I might want to check out before I get out there as well. So this is all in preparation. Okay, here's some check the AC system, replace filters if needed. That's great. All right, I'm going to get going on my day, and this is where we give you the ability to do automatic timestamps. He can hit this change and select traveling, and now the system is utilizing the timestamp feature in Timberline and recording where they're going, the actual travel time. So now you don't need to worry about the actual keeping track. You can keep track up to the second of their labor if necessary. Okay? And so, let's see, did I hit that button? So in that case, he can scroll down and he can see different kinds of information as I was showing you. Okay, let's say that he clicked on no answer. Okay, so no answer was just status was just changed right there. Or he goes back to traveling and he can hit that status. And he can come down here while that's changing, and this is reflected right back into service management. Maybe he gets on site, hits started. Okay, and now this is kicked back to service management. You'd see this in the D board. This is happening in real time because it's through a web browser. So this is recording these timestamps, okay? And he can come in here and he could put in an extra, maybe some other note on site now. And so this information is being communicated back to service management in real time. And that means that back in the office, they can look in the register, they can see this, and they can see the status on the D board of where he's at. So you start to get a really good visibility of what's going on. Let's say, so right now, here's the labor. He gets on site, does some work, and what it's been doing is here's the automatic timestamp of the travel that he did, right? We hit travel, and then we hit started, so it just recorded some time. Now, at the same time, he has the ability to come in here, and you can add your own. He can do either or is what our customers choose, but he can do some manual entry of his, let's just say there was some plumbing repair or something like that that he did. Okay, and he can come in here and add his own labor time. So you give him the ability to do manually or use the timestamps. Okay, in this case, and so there you see plumbing repair was just added, and that was just updated back in service management. It's going to show up in the register in real time. Okay, so same with parts. You can come in here, search for some parts, and this is going to pull right out of inventory. So you have up to the second inventory tracking now, can hopefully cut down on the natural attrition or loss of inventory that comes with the business if you're not tracking that in real time, right? So in this case, I don't know, we just choose something. This is just a bunch of interesting things we have in there in the demo database, some information, but we'll just add some sort of thin wire or something like that here, and I just entered that, and maybe we come over here and we add some straps or something like that. So for the sake of the demo, we'll just choose a few things for fun there. All right, now you've grabbed some description. You can come in and add more advanced notes and things like that to the description of what you've done. For instance, you hit on advanced, and you can come in here if he needs to and put as much detail or as little detail as you want. You can enable these things. So this is where he might come in and add some additional information. Okay, so jump back over there. So you can get as detailed or as little detail as you want. So all this is very configurable. Remember that, meaning that you can show as little or as much as you want, and you can turn off and on these functions, okay? So let's say he's entered some parts, he's entered some labor, he's going to come in here. Oh, let me jump back to the assignments page. Jump back to the details page again. Okay, so you can give miscellaneous items as something some of our customers want to do. And you can come in here and pick up something at Home Depot, some sort of tool, let's say, tool. And come in here, put a tool, maybe it was $10. You can add that. So now you've entered some tool that he picked up, and that's part of the work order, right? Flat rate. Some of our customers, they're using flat rate. We give you that ability as well. So he could come in here if you have flat rate and whatever, select some equipment, um, just primary overtime, something like that. Oh, I don't have anything. We'll just use regular labor. Okay, so here's the labor parts, and we're going to add that flat rate line. So he could be using either or of those functions. Now, in tasks to do, if there were extra tasks that were created or to-dos inside of service management, that would be communicated here. Okay, purchase orders, another thing where we give, if you want to, they can come out and they can view and receive purchase order information out in the field, or some companies want to give their guys the ability to start a purchase order. And in this case, maybe he's going to do some work, or he's going to get this wiring or something like that. Okay, and so need this for repair. And what that does is, instead of having to make the phone call into the office, this is now being sent in automatically, and they know that they need to create the purchase order, and he'll receive that information back here into the PO number. Okay, and information like that. So that's where the purchase order number would appear. He heads out, he receives it, and he can add those comments. Okay, so he can submit that request. Request was sent successfully, so that sent in a request at the office. Okay, and there'd be some pre-populated email address there to start off that process. We also give you the ability to get into a lot of details of the equipment. Okay, you can come in here. He can actually choose what equipment he wants worked on. Very convenient, and even more, so there might be, here's, in this case, there's just one piece of site equipment, but if there was a large list, he could, here it is actually, excuse me. He can change out what equipment he wants worked on. And what's really key here is he can come in and he can add new equipment if you want, because a lot of our customers say they get on site and they discovered that, wow, they're not even sure what equipment's on site, and so they can start to build up their database of equipment as techs go out to sites in the future. They can come in and they can edit the equipment properties and change serial numbers and things like that if you want them to. Even better, here's a big one, they can come in and see the service history on a particular piece of equipment. Now, this is what I'm working on today, but let me go back and see if there's some more history in one of these other. So let's select this chiller here, and let's come into the history of this chiller, and I'll cross my fingers maybe. Okay, yeah, and here's some past work orders that were done on that piece of equipment. And now your technician's really prepared, knowing, okay, evaluate, fix the chillers, warm air was blowing, and things like that. So now, once again, preparation, knowing what to do, not having as many redos or coming back for a second time, all that saves a lot of time and money for service companies. Okay, let me go back here to it should take me back to the details page of the work order. So in this case, there's also attachments. A lot of companies are now they take before and after photos. So in this case, he can come in here, he can snap a photo with some mobile device, and on that he can come in. Let's see if it takes me to my downloads. Okay, great. And then maybe he uploads this particular picture he just took of some pipes and things like that, some electrical, whatever it may be, some finished boiler or chiller or whatever he was working on. And so now here we just uploaded this picture, and there's this before and after photos that you get uploaded. There can also be in this attachments, back in the office, you can attach things like service agreements or maybe some warranty information, a manual, things like that enable your technician to get more done and not have to call back for history. So here's some sort of piping or things like that he worked on. Okay, so this is enabling that back and forth between techs and dispatch to be lessened, and to get them information out in the field so it's more effective. Okay, so in this case, let's one last thing here I want to show you is you can come in and see the service report, kind of a preview of how it's looking. Okay, this is sort of what you can see. There's the plumbing repair, the travel, and some of the equipment, this miscellaneous tool, check the AC system. Here's the work order comments and notes. Okay, so this is him building out the service ticket. And he's going to come in here, but let me show you this. There's electronic forms. Some of our customers, they have big PMs that they perform, let's say, and there's inspection sheets and things like that. So we give the ability to have custom forms that can be, this is HTML, which gives them, it pre-populates the customer's information right up here at the top, and you can come in here and start to fill this out and type in whatever relevant information. And this is through this web browser or whatnot. So he clicks on that, and he fills it out completely, and he can complete and email this, and that was automatically attached to this work order, associated in the FieldConnect system, and it sent an email back to the office, let's say a copy and even maybe an email. Failed email form because there's no addresses. I didn't put in any email addresses into this, but that's where it would shoot off to an email or something like that for whatever predetermined email boxes you wanted. Okay, so there is the. So let's go to complete the work order, and we're going to, you can select this follow-up needed. That'll send a notification to your sales staff, let's say, let them know, hey, there might be something to follow up, call the customer. Maybe there's some new opportunities there. And here is the completed work order with the plumbing repair. Here's the labor, the travel that was automatically time-stamped, okay? But also, this is the manual labor that I put in. And here's the parts and the tools and things like that. And now you can come in and you can hit on signature, and they can come in and do a signature, customer signature, signed by Dave, okay, and complete that, and accept signature, just like that. And now you have a saved signature that was saved, and you know the customer, they can get this. You're going to save and email this, and it'll go straight into the customer's inbox, maybe go back to the office where dispatch would see the work order come in, and they would know, okay, great, I need to go check this in the register, verify everything's okay, and submit it through to billing. And a lot of our customers will bill in 24, 48 hours. Here's the other thing I wanted to show you real quick. We're spending quite a bit of time here in field access because it's a big portion of the mobility. I'll just touch upon some of the other features and platforms in a second. But he can come in and he can do a quick search on a customer name. So these are after-hours technicians, let's say, that need to create a work order. And real quick, he can, some guy gets a call, and from his tablet, let's say he's filling out this request for service and whatever communications error. We're just going to get this going, okay, and he can come in here and fill this out real quick, make this customer viewable, and now this alerts dispatch regarding the work order, and that email can also go out letting your, let's say, management or service manager, hey, this also was created. So you don't need to shore that up later on when they get back in the office the next day. Everybody knows that the work order is created and it's taken care of. Okay, so unapplied time, I'll just touch upon that. This gives an ability to come in and record something like time off or whatever unapplied work, break room meeting, company meeting, whatever the case is. He can come in and select a different kind of labor that's not attached to a particular work order and create that here. And then field time, this is electronic time cards, gives your technician the ability to log in and see his time card being filled out, because if they're doing this electronically, think about this. They need to verify for themselves that they've done this work and check over it. So what we're doing is they're populating this timesheet in real time. And what you see is today, yesterday and today, here's the details of the work that was done labor-wise. Did this labor travel for Arcadia Campbell, and then we just completed this work for Kaiser Permanente. Here's the travel, the labor, and the plumbing repair that I just completed. He can come in and verify that work was done. He can also, basically, he can come in and approve this. See? Come in, hit the approve button, let's say. So he approves all these line items of his work, and he can approve selected. And now they've been approved, and when he sends out this email, I'll just send one to myself as well. This is going to do the approval process for timesheets for you now. And timesheets, you don't have to collect them at the end of the week. They're they come in just via email. It's a lot faster. Okay, looks good. You can put some comment, and if he doesn't agree with something, he wouldn't check it, and he put a comment like something's wrong. Okay, and you can email this report, and there you go. The email is sent successfully. Okay, and this is where, okay, there's my time card email that just shot into my system right here, came into my inbox, and I can, let's say I'm the dispatcher or someone in the back office. I open this up, and I'm going to see their time card. My wonderful computer always takes a second with PDFs. So are you going to open up for me? Let's see here. I think there he is. Adobe. Working good. Here we go. Okay. So there's Adobe producing my PDF of the time card. Okay, timesheet that's been filled out. And now I can approve that and go in and complete payroll, things like that, whatever your back office process is. Okay, so there is the quick tour of Field Access, the mobility piece. Now it's been about a half hour here, and let's now jump out of this back to Field. Okay, and we'll have some time for questions here, but I'm going to lightly touch upon our portal. Okay, so customer service portal. Let's see here. We're going to go to FC Server Field. It's called Field Direct. And I just want to check in again with the team here. Is everyone hearing me okay? My computer's working fine, and everyone seeing what we're doing? Steve, we're good?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Okay, fantastic. And I guess I'll just ask, is this pace okay? Everything all right? Should I speed it up or follow along all right? I'll take that as a yes.
I think we're good with the pace, so that's good.
Okay, thank you. I really I always, when I'm doing a demo, I'm always checking in with the customer, prospective customer, to make sure I'm not putting them to sleep. So I can't hear anything on your guys' end. That's why I check. So here we go, you guys. I just logged into Field Direct, and what this is a customer service portal that allows your customers, even people in your office, internal users, to log in and see all the information about their account they need to, like open work orders. They can take a look at the top here, and I'll walk you through this. They can create work orders, view all their open work orders. They can have their own customers. So you'd have all of your customers, and you'd assign each of them a login. And when your customers logged in, they would see only their work sites, okay? But here's open work order list. They can request service. Back in the office, you can process service requests from these requests. So I'm showing you all the features. Some of these wouldn't be your own customers wouldn't have access to. These would be back in the office. And they can create work orders and even do all sorts of reports. So if you can imagine, let's say you assign this a login to one of your customers, and they're going to come in. And let's say, so here's a list internally. Okay, let me jump back. Here's a list. This is a dispatcher back in the office. They have some information they need to see. We just did some work for Kaiser Permanente, let's say. Where are you? So here's Kaiser Permanente. You want to know what work was done by that technician today. And you can come in here, and these are the different locations for Kaiser Permanente. And you can drill down to much information as you want about these customers. Okay? And here is the service site. Here's the different work orders that were completed. And here's the service, the HVAC defect. This was done today, 5:15, okay? And so back in the office, if you want to get a hold of some of the attachments and things, here's the completed service report. And here's this picture of the tower that I uploaded. So these are the attachments that were uploaded right here, okay? So you might come in and say, okay, what was that work? This customer just called me wanting to know, hey, did that work get finished? How did it look? I'm not sure if the guy even showed up. And now you can take a look and say, oh, yeah, here's the completed work, and forward this picture, let's say, to the customer. Or more importantly, tell the customer to log into their own site and take a look at it. Here might be work order notes for that site, okay, or this work order. Here's different equipment. This is equipment that was used, okay? And here's the chiller PM form that was filled out. So all that information is stored right here at your dispatcher's or back office or service manager's fingertips, okay? Now let's say you're a customer that signs in. Your customer signs in, and when they signed in, all they would see, if you can imagine, they would just see their service sites for their different locations. And they, by the way, can assign logins to individual people at those service sites, and all those people could see is those service sites. So let's say, I think this is the one that has all the detail we were just looking at. Okay, so if you imagine this is your customer, and they come in and they can drill down to the same information, taking a look at work order like I did, seeing whatever agreements that might be on hand. Here's the equipment that they could come into, right? They could. This is their service site. They can come in and check out, let's say, this particular piece of equipment, and there's no work orders there for that. But if we jump back, let's say your customer wants to know about this work that was done today. I'm sorry, I just jumped back to work order detail. That's not where I was going. So there's a lot of information we can get into here. We were at the agreement equipment. So we're taking a look at what equipment was on site, right? And so this is the site details. They can come in and say, okay, here's my different work that was done on this chiller. Let's take a look at the completed work order. Was this work actually done? What was done? I have confusion about my bill. And they can come in and see the service report, see the same work order notes, see the forms, and take a look at the maintenance form that was filled out. Okay, so imagine this is your customer that's taking a look at this. Now there's the information drill down. You can see there's a lot of information that's passed back and forth. And the key here is to know what was done out in the field today in Field Access was communicated right back into Field Direct. Now let's say there's the open work order list. Your customer could come in and see all their open work orders, but also, and drill down on them as needed, they can come in and they can request service, right? So you're not getting those. This is something that a lot of customers want nowadays, is this interactive ability. So they can come in and they can, whatever, equipment, select some equipment, fix problem. You know, they could fill this out as much as they want. Put this phone number in here. This is my phone number. If you guys ever need to call me, jot that down. And I'm going to send myself this email request. Field. Okay. All right. So this request is sent in. Okay, and you take a look, that just popped in my email box. So if you can imagine, dispatch back in the office gets this request. So David LeCue at Allstate has requested this service. Here's the request information. Here's the site. Here's the equipment to work on, the description of what needs to be done. And let's say they're not logged into Field Direct. They could click there, and it would pop them right over to Field Direct, let's say. What I logged into. Okay. And they could come up here to process service requests. And so this is back in the office. Your customers wouldn't have this ability, or they could see all their service requests here, but they wouldn't have the ability to turn them into work order. But if you can take a look here, down at the bottom, fix problem. That's the service request that was just created from your customer. But now back in the office as a dispatcher, you have the screen and you have the ability to delete these when they're done. But more importantly, come in here and that information automatically pulled over to a create work order. So now you can create work orders on the fly within a minute or so instead of having to go into service management. And here's all the information. You can assign an agreement if it was there. Okay, whatever. There's some problem. Well, that wouldn't be accurate. So there's some noisy AC system is the problem. Please fix. Okay, and now you can come in here and you can select on the assignment, maybe select the technician. Here we go. Let's find our good buddy Batman, Bruce Wayne. And it's urgent, and kind of put in the estimated hours, let's say. Okay, you can come in here and fill out some other information if you want to. Salesman, whatever. Put in some additional notes. Okay, make those notes custom reviewable if you wanted. And so now you've completed that, and you can create that work order. Okay, work order 25665 was just created. And if you imagine 25665, here we go. Work order has been created. Now this email just came into support. See that? Work order has been created based on the request form. And we come back over here to the work order list. Let's say you were working on this in FieldDirect. You as a, actually looking in here, you could come in here on work order list and find this, the exact work order that you're looking for. Okay? So there's the process service request, create work orders, and then once maybe that, by the way, that work order was complete, back in the office you would delete it, let's say, delete this. Okay, that request is gone. It's been taken care of. Now reports. It gives you the ability for your customer to come in and find any information they want. They can come in here and look by particular site. They can come in here and look by call type, do some research, have a date range, let's say, of time that they want this report to be done for us. Let's do this massive report from months before, all the work that's been done there. The problem type and any status that they want. In this case, I'm going to leave it all open because this is demo database data. I want to pull as much information as possible. So they can come in here and design this custom report about open work orders or whatever they're looking for. And here this report pulls up that can actually be exported to Excel or PDF. And here is the location, the work order, call type, the problem, the schedule date, maybe the equipment that was worked on right here, model serial number, as you see right here, the technician that worked on it. If we had the invoice number, date, and the invoice amount, it'd be here. And any other kind of comments, as you can see, we've created this nice report of service for the year. So your customers are not calling you as much looking for that information. And they can export it to Excel if they wanted to. We'll see how quickly the system accepts that. So their Excel pops up. And this is what that would look like. Yes, let's accept that. Okay, now you have this Excel file, and maybe you load that into your CRM or accounting system or whatever it is, that you would want to use. And so this is good for internal as well. Back in the office, you can do this kind of research and get a better visibility as executives what's going on in your organization. Okay, so that is FieldDirect right there and all those functionality. And by the way, you can come in here and start to do reports by equipment and work order types and all sorts of other searching, and this is very configurable. Okay, so we're at 8:43. Now there's one other application, kind of running out of time. Let me just I'll take a minute and touch upon this, and then maybe you guys could tell me how much more you want me to go into. So this is Field Dispatch, this expansive dispatching tool. Dispatcher. Let's see if that logs me in. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just walk you through these screens in the essence of time. I put in the right access. Let me see, I wonder if I put in the right, okay, I don't put in the right password. I think it confused it. Hold on. Okay, hung up my browser. Lovely. Let's see if it'll just relax here for a second. Okay, great. My browser crashed everything. Let's see here. Can everyone still see my screen and everything?
We're still seeing your screen just fine.
Okay, no problem. Let me open up let's jump over to an entirely different browser so that doesn't happen again. Let's go to Field Dispatch. Okay, let's do that then. Okay, Field Dispatch, and okay, we'll just log in here. And I put in the right password that time. All right. So I'll just take a minute here and walk you guys through this, and maybe you can guide me if you want me to get in more detail. So what this is Field Dispatch, and this is also web-based. So this enables our customers to have a lot more visibility into what's going on in service management and to have some more dynamic dispatching going on. We have customers that have 600 technicians using this, and some that have, 10, 5, 15, just to enable a lot more dynamic tools to run their business. So what you're looking at here is the dispatch page, and you see the somewhat familiar calendar view, and in it you can see the work orders for the day, and you imagine this might be filled up. And what we give you the ability to do is take a look at, compartmentalize and look at different groups, let's say, just particular technicians, and you can look out to the future and see some of the calendaring and planning tools in the D-board and Timberline. Service management can be limited, but here's these technicians and all the days going out into the future. We can see all the work they're doing, right? I might take it down to just Bruce here, select on him, load that selected, and I can drill down to just Bruce and his schedule over the next 7 days. What's great is I can take these, if these are still open, and I can move that around dynamically. There we go. And I can change the schedule, just very similar to the D-board. But I have many more days and visibility. I can change the views there. I can come in and filter by different call types and priorities and problems. So we give you a lot of ability to come in and filter things, and also to create work orders that would be unassigned and just drag and drop them over here. So there's a whole unassigned work order ability to drag and drop. So let me jump through all of these because we're coming down here to the hour, and I want to give some time for questions. And so I'll just show you these screens. So this is the planning screen, which gives you a month view, several months out in the future, that gives you the ability to have long-term PM planning, let's say, and even to grab these work orders and move them around in a calendar view, even into these future months. So you can come here and literally change your entire schedule around for many, many technicians, and you can sort by the technician in the same way, and different groups, and filter down to the specific work orders you want to see. So this can change what you're seeing based on these filters. Okay, so that's going to help you with planning in the future. Scheduling, we're going to give you the ability to come in here and have a list, a simple list of the work orders that are available. And some people want to come in and sort that list, and they can click on a particular work order, and it'll jump straight over into the work order details right here. Okay? And you get all the work order details. And you can come through. So here we are in the service call lists. Okay? So that's just another view. Also, we're going to give you a map view. And what this is pulling from the geographic locations and based on the tablets or mobile devices the technicians are using, You can see all of the open work orders for the day. And more importantly, I didn't log in with a particular from my phone and or a mobile device, but you'll see the different locations, and you can see texts and their relationship to those work orders and know what they're doing. Let's see if it captured my location based on me logging in. Oh, okay, there it is. So here's a text. Here's Bruce Wayne that I logged in with earlier. So we're going to give you this dynamic map function. If you can imagine, 10, 20 different technicians all being on one page. Oop, I need to click out of that. Okay. I can zoom in, and the reason it zoomed so far out is I have work orders on both coasts going here. But you can imagine, you saw those work orders, but in the same way, you can drill in here to this area, and you might have 10, 12 trucks that you see, or however many technicians you have, and you can see their location, and you can see, hey, 23 minutes ago, Bruce Wayne logged in and did some activity, and that's when we took a geocode location of his tablet. So you can see all of that. Okay, so there's dynamic, and by the way, you can do filtering and see particular technicians and all those features. Okay, you can come in and create a new work order just like we did in FieldDirect. Same functionality and look. You can come in here and create a new work order. Let's say grab a leave it unassigned, but just generally come and search and create a work order there if you wanted to. And usually we need to select a problem code of some kind. And let's see if that's enough to create that work order. Okay, work order created successfully. I just wanted to show you this one really cool feature. And then we're probably going to, if you come back over to the dispatch board here, and I'm going to show you I just created that unassigned work order. We come to unassigned, and here's this unassigned work order. And I can come in here and drag and drop it into Bruce Wayne's schedule right there. And so you can imagine you can log into this, and instead of having going into service management, you can get in front of the create work order, create 10 work orders in a matter of 15 minutes, have them all drop into here, unassigned, and then distribute them out to different technicians just by drag and dropping, and really do a lot more dynamic scheduling and things like that. Here you can send instant messages, you can send text messages, email messages to all your techs or to individual customers. So this is a communication tool, cut down on that phone tag, and you can come in here and do a lot of searching on different kinds of work orders and things like that. Okay? All right, there you go. I'm going to, Steve, you want to come back online? I can give you guys some pricing real quick and guide me. Maybe we'll want to take questions and answers, okay? Let me just tell you some quick pricing. Steve asked me to share that. For field access, it's pretty much $1,000 per technician, and these are just ballpark. About $1,000 per technician. You can jot that down, and $5,000 for the installation, and any kind of 20% of software would be the total cost for maintenance. Okay, 20% for maintenance. So if you had 10 technicians, it cost $10,000 for software, $5,000 for the installation, and a couple grand for the yearly maintenance. A total of $17,000. Okay, for the field dispatch, it would start out at around $15,000, and the field direct starts out at around $15,000 as well, and kind of goes up based on the scope and size of support and all the different, whatever customers and technicians and things like that. So, so that starts at 15 and 15 basically. Okay. So there's some general pricing. So I want to open it up for questions here. We have a few more minutes. Please guide me along here, Steve.
Thank you very much, David. Nice presentation.